Number 5, uses of past progressive or past continuous tense. All right. Okay, guys. Repetition and irritation with always. So here we're gonna use allowable frequency, always and constantly, to talk about annoying situation. All right. So we're gonna talk about two words here. That express annoying situation when we use them in the present perfect progressive. That is always and constantly. All right, so for always we have the formula. So the formula for always is what? Subject. So okay, verb to be plus always plus verb ing plus object. So this is the formula for always, in past progressive, in repetition and irritation. That is annoying situation. All right, so let's go to constantly. So constantly formula gonna be subject plus verb to be plus constantly plus verb ing plus object. So this is the formula for constantly. All right. Okay, guys, let's do some examples. Okay, she was always coming to class late. So this is an annoying situation. It's irritated, annoying situation. Okay, so she was always coming to class late. That was in the past, so in the past it's still going on. All right. Okay, guys, let's go to the second one here. He was constantly talking. He annoyed everyone. He was constantly talking. He annoyed everyone. So there is annoying situation, irritation. You know what I mean? All right, guys. I didn't like them because they were always complaining. This annoying situation. All right, guys. Okay, so this is the 5 uses for past progressive. I didn't like them because they were always complaining. All right. Okay, guys. Number 6, talking about stative and non-stative verbs. So when we are talking about stative verbs, we don't use stative verb in past progressive. So we don't use stative verb in progressive. In all progressive, we don't use stative verbs. We have non-stative verbs. We have some verbs that are stative, that are non-stative. So these verbs are called dynamic verbs. They can be stative, they can be non-stative. They can be action verb, they can be non-action verb. But you gotta be careful with the stative verbs. You gotta know. I remember there is a video on present progressive that explain detail about stative and non-stative verb. Just remember, stative verbs are not used in progressive, in all progressive. But here we are talking about past progressive. All right. Okay. Like example here. I always know him for many years. So this is wrong because know him is a stative verb. So we don't use stative verb in progressive, in past progressive. So this is wrong. This is wrong. So instead we use the past simple. Just use the past simple. All right. So the past simple is gonna be, I knew him for many years. I knew him for many years. So this is the correct one. This is the past simple. All right. Okay. So all right. Let's go to the next one here. Lily was hating spiders. So hating is a stative verb. So do use stative verb in progressive, in past progressive. So this sentence here is wrong. So instead we gotta use the past simple. So the past simple gotta be Lily hated spider. So Lily hated spider. All right. Okay. Let's go. Then we are wanting to call you. So wanting is a stative verb. So do use stative verb in progressive, in past progressive, in all progressive. So this is what? So this is wrong. Instead, we use the past simple. So the past simple gotta be they wanted to call you. They wanted to call you. All right. Okay, guys. Let's go to the next one. He always having a computer. So here having, you gotta remember that have is a dynamic verb. It's one of the dynamic verb. So yeah, it depends the context. It depends. Like the meaning can change. But have is a stative verb. It's also a non-stative verb. It's a dynamic verb. It can be stative. It can be non-stative. It can be action. It can be non-action. But here, he was having a computer. There is what? So stative. So have here is stative. So there is what? This is incorrect. All right.
A non-action.
Right. So here,
Right. So here,
have is a
have
stative verb.
is
It's
a
so
stative verb.
possession.
It's so
So he
possession.
was having a
So he
compare.
was having
So this
a
is
compare.
wrong. So you
So
can't
this
use
is wrong.
a
So you
stative
can't
verb
use
in
a stative
progressive,
verb
in past progressive, in all
past
progressive.
progressive.
So this
all
is incorrect.
So
All
this
right, guys.
is incorrect.
Okay, let's go.
Right, guys. Okay, let's go.
He was having a party.
He was
That
having
is
a party.
correct
That
because
is correct.
have
Because
here is
have
expressing an
here is
action. So
expressing an
have here
action.
is not a state,
So
it's
have
an
here is
expressing
not a
an
state,
action.
it's an
So he
expressing
was
an
having a
action.
party.
So he was having a
Have is
party.
have is
Have is
expressing
an
action.
have is
So this
expressing
is
action.
correct.
So this is
You know what I mean?
correct.
So number 7, the 7 uses for past progressive. This is adverb of placement. When we talk about adverb of placement, we have was that we use in adverb of placement, and these words are called signal words. What are the signal words? Like always, only, never, ever, still. These are the signal words, and these signal words, they are used between the auxiliary verb and the main verb. They are always there, you know. Yeah, okay, like example here. Let's see example here. You were just studying when she called. So you gotta see here the signal word just is between the auxiliary verb were and the main verb studying. Alright? So you were just studying when she called. You were just studying when she called. Alright? Okay, let's go to the next one. Were you just studying when she called? There's a question form. So you gotta see the signal word just. So you gotta see here the auxiliary verb come after the subject and followed by the signal words, and the signal words is between the subject and the main verb studying, because this is the question form. Okay, were you just studying when she called? All right, okay, let's go to the next one. I was still waiting for her at that time. So you gotta see here the signal was still is between was and waiting. All right, so I was still waiting for her at that time. I was still waiting for her at that time. All right, so that's what we call the adverb of placement. So these are signal words. Do you see where we place them? We place them within the auxiliary verb and the main verb. So the auxiliary verb there is was, and the main verb there is waiting, and the signal word there is between those. Is between the auxiliary verb and the main verb. That's what we call adverb of placement. So all right, okay guys, let's go. Number 8, uses of past progressive or past continuous tense. Talking about active and passive voice. You know what I mean? When I talk about the active voice, we are talking about the subject, that is the doer, and the object, that is the receiver. You know. So all right, guys, let's do some little example here. The salesman was helping the customer when the thief came into the store. So here you gotta see the salesman is the the salesman is the subject, is the doer, that is the subject. Okay, was helping the customer. So the customer there is the receiver. That is the object, is the receiver. All right. So this is an active. This is an active voice. So we're gonna change this active voice to a passive voice. You know, so I gotta bring a video talking about active voice and passive voice, but here we are just talking about the uses of past progressive. You know, where we use past progressive. All right. So number 8, we use it in passive and active voice. All right. So in progressive form, in past progressive form, so we gotta see the auxiliary verb here was, that is was, the main verb here helping, that is the verb in the ing form. All right. So the salesman was helping the customer when the thief came into the store. So now in the passive voice, we are going to change the object to the subject. So the receiver will change to the doer. The doer will change to the receiver. But something will happen here. So what is going to happen here? We are going to add the be verb with past participle, and the past participle gotta be helped. You know, so like example here, also we gotta use the word by. That's the preposition by. So you gotta see here there are two. Yeah, you gotta see the auxiliary verb been and past participle with by. So if we want to change this past progressive active, if you want to change it to a passive form, you gotta see what will happen. Like this is the active voice, so let's change it to the passive voice. So the passive is gonna be the customer was being helped. So you gotta see being plus the past participle helped, and with the word by. So the customer was being helped by the salesman when the thief came into the store. So this is how to change the active voice to the passive voice in past progressive. We are still in past progressive. But this is a whole topic, guys. I gotta bring this video talking about active and passive voice. And active and passive voice more in progressive form. The be verb with the past participle. So you gotta see how the customer was being helped. Helped is a past participle. By, okay, by the salesman when the thief came into the store. So you gotta see now the objects have changed to the subject. So the receiver have changed to the door. So this is one of the uses for past progressive. You have a lot of uses, up to 14 uses. So that's why we say all about tenses. So when we deal with past simple, we gotta talk about all about past simple. When we are dealing with past progressive, we gotta talk about all past progressive, all the uses. This is an advanced lesson, guys. Okay, all right.